on at a heavy metal concert, and there are some of the road crew, I guess, having a game of football in the sunshine here at the Dynamo. But Headbangers Ball is here for the metal, and right now I'm joined by Eric and Rick, making a welcome return to Headbangers Ball. They are, of course, from Trouble. So how are you guys doing? Flown in from Chicago just a few days?
Just to party.
Now, you played the Dynamo Club here on the Friday night. Your first show in Europe for quite a while. Was that fun?
I'm still recuperating. No doubt about it. Holland is great. You just come in and there they are. And here we go, party time.
Well, you've had very good reviews over here for your new album, Manic Frustration, and it seemed to me that a lot of people find that it tells them a lot about kind of your emotions, your experiences, and quite a bit about your philosophies as people as well. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I think this was a little more personal. We usually don't try to write a certain way. It's however we feel. But this time, I don't know about with the music or whatever, but like lyrics, I felt I wanted to be a little more reality. Mm-hmm. You know, what I was seeing, we just got off of 9 months in a road, and so it was like we've seen some new things finally to be. I mean, I think you have to experience certain life and lifestyles to be able to write about it. You know, so I think we finally seen something new, and we had something new to go on, even though we didn't realize it.
Now, you called the album Manic Frustration, as I said, but by the sounds of it, it certainly wasn't manic or frustrating recording it, because you went up to a mountain, is that right? Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was very, very peaceful. It was like 3 miles into a mountain where we just lived up there. We came down once a week to buy groceries. Yeah, so we just like lived amongst the wildlife and
growing beards, and
it was like being on a farm. And we woke up in the morning and went straight into the studio and worked, you know, all day until the evenings, and then drank and passed out and did it again the next day. You know?
Sounds fun.
Stayed real focused on what we were doing.
So being away from sort of outside interferences and away from your home city of Chicago, did that also help as well?
Especially LA. I mean, you record in Hollywood there, and there's just so much to do. You know, so what's there to do tonight? You go here, Cat House, wherever, you know, and up in the mountain there was nobody there. We had to work, you know, and it was great because records sometimes they get stored in your head, and you know, you can't do anything else until you got it out, and then finally you can move on with your life, you know. So doing it up there was like we got it all out, and we felt really good about ourselves and about the record.
Okay.
You know.
Well, we're going into the video, actually, the first video from Manic Frustration. That's Memories Garden. As you said, a real life experience. In this case, a song about maybe losing a loved one.
Well, I'll tell you, at the time I wrote that it wasn't true yet, and sometimes it seems like, you know, when I write lyrics that they do come true, or they really are, but I just don't realize. But this one didn't come true until later, so it was kind of weird, and the video was weird too to us. You know, it was kind of spooky sometimes, you know.
Yes, I can imagine, actually. All right, well, we're going to talk to Eric and Rick lots more. We're going to see them live on stage at the Dynamo. But first up, let's check out that rather weird, spooky video for Memories Garden. Well, I think we've experienced just about every type of weather here at the Dynamo. It's been raining, it's been windy, the sun has been shining, and of course we've been experiencing some great music, lots of different genres of metal, and I hope you have enjoyed the coverage over the last 2 weeks. And Eric and Rick from Trouble are back with me on Headbangers Ball. I'm going to talk a little bit more. And I was wondering, do you find it kind of a little bit ironic that kind of old-fashioned things are now coming back in vogue, because you've always ploughed your own furrow and not really followed trends?
I think, well, everything that goes around comes around again. You know, I was talking with my parents, and they had the same thing back then, and he's like kind of telling me that things are like that again. They're weird, you know, like back in the 30s or something. But yeah, I remember '84 walking down in LA with ripped jeans and round glasses and fringe on. People looked at us like we were from outer space, you know. So now we go down walking LA with suits on now, so we can be different, you know.
Setting a new trend. Also, you worked with producer Rick Rubin, Deaf American guru. We know him well for Manic Frustration. How did you get on with him? How did you like his style? Because he tends to be very laid back and leave you to get on with it.
Yeah, actually, I liked his style a lot on this album because he came in and did the drums and left and let us do it by ourselves, and it worked out really well. And then he came back at the end and did the mix for us. So Yeah, you know, instead of him standing there with a whip, you know, he gave us the free reins to do what we wanted, and you know, we were really happy with the product. So,
Well, he signed us because he liked us, not, you know, and not because he wanted to change us. So he knows that we go in and work, you know, and we don't goof around and blow his money.
And I think he's the kind of a person that appreciates the building a career of a band and looking in the long term as well, and not just wanting like a one-hit wonder or whatever.
Right now it's been long term so far. So right now we're working on our third one with him, and I think it should be nice and heavy again.
I hope so. That's the way we like it. All right, well, we are going to talk to Trouble some more, but we've got a commercial break on the way right now. Stay tuned as the Headbangers Ball from the Dynamo Festival continues. To the Headbangers Ball, we're on location at the Dynamo Festival. There's the big stage there in the background, 60,000 fans for bands to play to, and a little bit later on today, Trouble are going to be taking to this Dynamo stage, and Eric and Rick are still with me on the Headbangers Ball. Now, I was sort of considering some of your songs, and it seemed to me that they can be appreciated on a lot of different levels. There's a superficial when you first listen to it, then if you can look deeper. What would be the ultimate compliment for somebody to say to you after they'd listened to one of your songs?
that it was the Sgt. Pepper of the 90s.
Oh, wow.
But that's not going to happen, so I don't know, as long as someone gets something out of it, you know, if they can relate to something that Eric's trying to say, then, you know, that's worthwhile. And if they appreciate the music that's being played, that's what makes me happy. You know?
Yeah, well, my problems are just like everybody else's. Maybe, you know, and I've experienced things that everybody else has too. We won't mention any names. So in that respect, I think then I can, if I didn't experience it, then I don't know if I could write it. So I'm not so sure if it was good or not. But at least I can say it where people are like, yeah, you know, he's right, or he's right in explaining it.
Exactly. Do you find it therapeutic writing lyrics? Is it like getting something out of your system?
Off your chest sometimes, and sometimes, you know, when we're doing the vocal tracks in the studio, sometimes it gets like, oh wow, you know, that's right, you know, and you get kind of emotional, and then the songs are better, and you know, when they're real.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about Trouble live, because I believe that it was just towards the end of the last tour that you finally clicked together in the live environment. Is that true? And you kind of suddenly felt comfortable with the band on stage. Is that true?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a hard thing, you know, bands that you start out playing clubs and there's only a few people, you know, and then you have to learn how to support somebody. And you know, when we were in England last with Dio, that was very new to us, you know, and we were a little bit intimidated maybe at first, you know, and now, but then we went on tour with Pantera, and
wow,
and you know, and they just come out, hey, here we are, like, and you know, you learn from different things, you know, and
job training, kind of, you know. With Pantera, it's like being in boot camp, you know.
yeah, with Pantera, they come out like that, you know, and you got to kind of compete with that, where you got that attitude, like we're gonna go out and
kick some ass.
Kick some ass. I didn't know if you could say that. Bust your balls, you know. Put it that way.
So very quickly, you've got a few more shows coming up over the next few weeks. What's happening for Trouble?
Yeah, we're going to be in Belgium in a couple days, and then a show in London, and then we're going to fly back to America and do an East Coast tour across America, and then I think we're going to go in and lay down the tracks for the new album. So.
Right, so no hanging about. We're going to get straight on.
We got to get right back in.
Okay, well, it's very nice to see you again, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I know you've got a busy day ahead of you. Best of luck on stage tonight, and by the miracles of modern television, we are going to show you a little bit of Trouble's live performance from the Dynamo. Here we go.